Anxiety plus misinterpretation, a deadly combination for incorrect answers. And that's what we are going to correct or rectify in today's video. Hello everyone, welcome to Score Settled. Now, usually due to lack of time or misinterpreting the statements, students tend to go wrong in such lengthy questions, right? And in today's video, we are going to help you out to answer these questions correctly by first clarifying your basics and secondly, giving you the strategy to answer them correctly within no time, right? So let's start. Now, in the first question, in the context of neoclassical growth model, the effect of an increase in population growth rate is or are. First thing that you need to remember is that neoclassical growth model states that in the long run, output growth is solely because of exogenous factors. What are those exogenous factors? Population growth and technology, right? So these are the two exogenous factors which will lead to growth in the long run according to neoclassical growth model. Let's read the first statement. Reduction in steady state level of capital per head. Now, according to Solow-Swan model, right, as the population is increasing, the capital available per head falls. Right? So yes, there is a reduction in your steady state level of capital per head. So A should be there. So we can strike out 2, we can strike out 4. Then is increase in per capita output? No, that's what we discussed in A. Statement A, that when your population is increasing, the per capita output is automatically decreasing. So B should not be there. So hence we can strike out 1 and we are left with just the third option, okay, which is the correct answer. Then let's go through other statements. Increase in steady rate of growth of output, that's what we discussed here. That neoclassical theory's main ideology is that any increase in population growth or improvement in technology will lead to increased output. So this statement is true. Then decrease in capital output ratio? No, because when the capital available per head falls, then the economies will start increasing capital accumulation. That is, they will start adopting the policy of capital widening so that they can at least reach the original level of capital per labor. Okay, then so D is wrong. Then an inward shift in production possibility curve? No. Exogenous factor, it will lead to an outward shift in your PPC curve. So this is also wrong. It should be outward. Okay. Next question. Which of the following statements correctly describe the concept of efficiency in environmental economics? The first, all allocation is Pareto efficient if no one can be made better off without making someone else worse off. That's the very definition of Pareto efficiency, Pareto optimality. So A is definitely correct. So we can strike out option 4. Then efficiency ensures a fair and equitable distribution of resources among all individuals. Not at all. This is incorrect. You give 100 rupees to a billionaire and 100 rupees to the individual belonging to a BPL category. The utility that is derived from it is not the same. So it does not mean that if you distribute 100 rupees to each and every one, the value or the utility or the welfare which is derived from it is equitable. Okay, so equitable distribution does not always necessarily mean efficiency. Okay, so B is incorrect. So we can strike out 1, we can strike out 2. So we have come to our answer, that is 3, just by reading 2 statements. Okay, then let's go through the other statements. Market allocations are efficient only in the absence of market failures, right? So market failures such as externalities, yes, externalities lead to market failures, which leads to inefficient outcomes. So market is efficient only in the absence of externalities. So this statement is true. Then efficiency is a normative concept concerned with what should be done based on societal value. No, efficiency is considered as a positive concept. Positive concept means what is, and normative means what should be. Okay, so efficiency is primarily treated as a positive concept. Okay, so D is wrong. Then environmental policies that internalize externalities can improve efficiency. Very true. So if the government is introducing policies that can minimize the externalities that are there, then it will lead to efficiency. So we've come to the answer as option 3. Okay. Next question. According to Coase theorem, which of the following are possible outcomes of assigning property rights? So basically the Coase theorem states that you should assign property rights to avoid any kind of market failures. Okay. Now, either it can be that the one who is suffering, right, pays to the person who is causing that suffering, to minimize it, or one who is causing the suffering, right, pays the sufferer, you can say, to balance it out. Okay, to compensate for all the suffering, right? So a statement is that the polluter pays the victim to continue polluting, means the polluter is kind of compensating the victim for all the suffering that he has caused. This is true, right? So A is true. 3 and 4 can be struck off. Then the victim pays the polluter to reduce pollution. That is also true, right? Then the government must set pollution taxes to ensure efficiency. No. According to the Coase theorem, the private parties are capable enough to reach an agreement. So government interference is not necessary, right? So C is incorrect. So we can strike out 1 and we come to the answer as 2. Okay, let's go through other statements. Market outcomes can achieve efficiency even if externalities exist. Yes, simply because private parties are capable enough to negotiate. Okay, then the polluter and victim always have equal bargaining power. Not always, right? It is not always true. Okay, so we've come to the answer as option 2. Next question. Now this question is regarding MSMEs, and what we've experienced in the past few years, MSME has been a favorite topic, right? So make sure you know the limits of small, medium, micro enterprises and so on, right? And also what kind of how much investment can be there, what can be the size, what can be the revenue of it. This is very important. So usually there is at least one question on MSME that comes up. Okay, now which of the following are correct about the revised criteria of MSMEs effective from 1st April 2025 as per budget 25-26? Now, an enterprise is classified as micro enterprise if investment in plant and machinery does not exceed rupees 2.5 crores. That is true. So A is true. We can strike off 4 and 1. Okay. Now, medium enterprise is one whose turnover does not exceed 50 crores. Rather, it is 500 crores. Next, a small enterprise has investment limit of up to 10 crores. No, it is 100 crores, right? So C is also wrong. A micro enterprise is one whose turnover is up to 10 crores. That is true. And small enterprise has turnover limit of up to 100 crores. That is true, right? So second is the answer. Next question. Which of the following are correct about the foreign trade policy 2023 of India? First is that India's FTP 2023 promotes cross-border trade in digital economy. Yes, that is true. So they have formalized your e-commerce hubs, right? They have formalized e-commerce exports and also raised your courier consignment value limit to rupees 10 lakh, right? So these were very important changes that were made in FTP 2023. Okay, then A is right, we can strike out. Second, FTP 2023 emphasized on creation of e-commerce export hubs. That is very, very true, right? So we can strike out 1. Then it prohibits export and import of arms and related materials from or to Iraq. Yes, that is true, right? That is very, very true according to the UN Security Council guidelines. Then it prohibits import of charcoal from Somalia, again as per your UN Security Council guidelines, which has led to the ban of any kind of funding to alternate groups. Okay, so this is also true. And also it emphasizes strengthening trade with Democratic People's Republic of Korea in combat aircraft, missiles and arms related material. Not at all. E is incorrect. So I hope you found something useful out of it, right? And this video was informational, and we'll see you in the next one with some more exciting questions, especially related to match the following this time. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.